So this new surge of ICE raids and deportations has a lot of politicians speaking out, and they're pretty much split along party lines. From President Trump to Governor Pritzker, even Mayor Johnson, it seems like everyone has an opinion on this. NBC5's political reporter, Mayor Ann Ahern, is joining us now to share what they're saying about this.
Well, Stefan, it was only 4 days ago that the president and his team suggested they were not going to look at Chicago anymore, since there would be legal headaches if the National Guard is eventually called in to assist ICE agents. The president's interest in Chicago, however, renewed again this morning. And Governor Pritzker reiterated there has been no coordination today with his office and the White House.
Over the last week and a half, 11 people in Chicago were killed, murdered, and 38 were shot. And then Pritzker, and by the way, this is going on constantly. If they lose less than 6 or 7 people a week with murder, they're doing a great job in their opinion. Chicago is a death trap. And I'm going to make it just like I did with D.C.
Sometimes he forgets. I think he might be suffering from some dementia. And the next day he'll wake up on the other side of the bed and stop talking about Chicago. So I've never really counted on anything that he said as real.
The governor also publicly released more than 20 questions he has for the Trump administration about the ICE raids, from how much is this costing to how long do they plan to stay.
Okay, so we heard from the governor. We understand that Mayor Johnson also responded strongly to the suggestion of sending the National Guard into Chicago. What did he have to say?
Yes, it was way more passionate than we have heard his tone today. Why don't you take a listen?
This president has never asked a very simple question to me, Brandon Scott, Barbara Lee, Randall Woodfin. He doesn't talk to black mayors about what it's like to live in communities that have been disinvested in. So no, we're not going to succumb to the sickness and the evil that Dr. King warned us about a generation ago.
As we mentioned at the top, there is support for these ICE raids from across the aisle. The Illinois Senate Republican caucus says, quote, if Governor Pritzker and Chicago leaders refuse to do their jobs, the federal government has both the right and the duty to act. However, the bottom line is the troops have yet to be deployed to the city. Immigration agents, however, have been seen across the suburbs.
And just because I'm confused about this, but at first it sounded like the National Guard was here to try to clean up crime and lower crime numbers. Now it sounds like they're here to protect ICE agents.
And we don't even have the National Guard here yet.
Correct.
That is part of the issue. And some worry that if there are strong protests, that's what happened in D.C. and in L.A., then the National Guard was called. So right now we see ICE agents and Border Patrol agents. That's it.
Okay.